Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hello, gentlemen.
Good.
Fine.
So this is exciting now. So I guess we're trying for the first time to do something podcast style, right? Giving update about the latest development. It's a bit exciting for me to be on the camera like this. So what are we guys talking about today?
So, well, actually, we met a little bit before and prepared an agenda of things that are interesting for the community that are happening right now, and just discuss about them. So, what's first on the agenda? Well, I can actually check.
I think the first one would be maybe we take the testnet. I mean, I think people are very excited about it, right?
Of course. I'm also interested.
The cool thing is, I think Søren said that he's working on writing up some instructions because we have something that is a little bit working already. And it's working good enough that he's trying to package it, give a short intro, and share this with the community developers directly, because it's not something that can go public yet. And this is work in progress right now. It's just with the core team, and they're working on this whole description kind of thing. I think it's going to be really cool to get like the first outside experience from other developers. Really cool.
Yeah. So you could say now the testnet is, or something very similar to the final version, is going to be tested by outside developers for the first time.
I'm not sure if final is like already a strong word. I know our developers are always a little bit concerned about promising too much, and because it still might take some time, right? It still might break, but you can really feel the things are coming together. I remember a few weeks back, it was running for the first time, having all the validators in the beginning, like an artificial lab setup, and people were excited. And then you try to add one validator just a little bit later, and it was not able to sync. It was not able to catch up to the chain. So it was back to the desk and working, coding, bug fixing. And so this is there's still a long way to go, but it's continuously improving and it's getting more and more realistic, the setup. So it's going to be really interesting to have more people now looking from the outside on the code, on how it works. Maybe people can start even working on staking pools already.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean about final is, of course, not the final code. The code is going to be changing all the time and getting better security and such. More about that this is not a demo. This is not like, is the actual real thing now being tested for the first time by people that are not inside of the team, which is very cool. It's the actual albatross. So that's, as you say, there's people already that I know are working on staking pools.
Yeah.
And also,
so albatross is going to spread its wings soon.
Yeah. I'm sure it's also pretty important, like having all this experience from the Oasis pre-testing before we released the beta. It was so incredibly helpful that the community helped to test it and actually, discover all those things. If you test that with a couple of people, you find like the most prominent bugs or things that needs to be fixed. But if you have more people from the community, the more eyes you have on it, I believe that also the faster we can move forward. And I've when it comes to Albatross, I'm not a technical person, but I've learned so much about how complex this actually is, what our colleagues are building there, and that how a small roadblock, can hold the system back from working, and then you remove this and it runs, but then you discover something new. And I think that is incredibly, for me, I don't know, do you know the particle accelerator in Switzerland, CERN? Have you heard of that? Like this massive machine. To me, when I think of Albatross and like the blockchain, this is what I have in my mind. Okay, like you have that massive machine, it's fully assembled, and then something just doesn't work right, and you're trying to find that little part that is holding the thing back from working. And it's incredibly exciting, but but it just takes time. And I'm really happy to have more devs from our community actually take a look at what's going on. It's going to be thrilling.
Another angle for this is also something that I was in a video with Bruno, one of the blockchain developers on the team. He worked on this concept that we are adding to the wallet called the trust score. The trust score is going to, or pools are going to be sorted in the wallet based on the trust score. So a pool that is more trusted is going to be higher, and then people are going to maybe go for that one. And what metrics or what variables are taken in consideration? Well, one of them is the amount of funds that this pool is taking in comparison to the entire amount that is staked of the network. So if a pool is very big, then the trust score will lower down to ensure there's some decentralization there, because people would go for the ones that are staking the less. So that kind of like balances things out. But another metric is the age of the pool. So the age of the pool actually starts in the testnet. If, for example, let's say somebody that is a developer already from the community gets on board and says, okay, I want to try this out, and has a pool at the very beginning, then his age or her age will be longer or older than somebody that, let's say, KuCoin maybe, or BitMax or some. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, just saying examples, or Trust Wallet, or any big partner or third-party project that says, okay, Nimiq seems interesting, I'm going to have a pool or a staking pool in their network. And then if you compare those two, then you'll have a very good score for the one that was, for the developer that started early. So that's also an incentive for people right now to get on board, because then you'll have a very good score when mainnet goes live.
That makes sense, because I mean, if that thing has been running in testnet for a few months already, of course, that gives me more trust in that this thing is working well. So it's not just an artificial number; it just totally makes sense, right? Yeah, so I think really pieces come together. Yeah, it's still, I mean, still a long road to mainnet. I think, I mean, we all know that, and there's still a lot to do, but it's quite incredible to see every week there is one step at a time has been made towards getting the testnet out and having the staking system already built and or the UIs for it, and all those things happen all in parallel, and they all move to the same target. Well,
and if I understand correctly, then the tasks, that if you solve one thing now, the next thing might be a bit easier, and if that is solved, you're always getting like closer to the actual goal. So the big tasks, like I imagine when we had that last technical update in summer, and seeing the entire Nimiq core team putting the pieces together. I once had this analogy with a racing car, like first you have to manufacture all the parts of the racing car, and then you come together and actually build the thing. And then it's there, it's in the garage, and now you have to like fine tune it. And this is all there already. And I'm just incredibly excited that this already lies in the past. So we have made very good progress, but as you say, there's always still work to do. But I'm very positive about how far we come and how everything's going, at least from the perspective that I understand. And I always keep knocking on the door and nagging the developers. Okay, can you explain how is this going? How is that working? I think Richie, for you the same. Sven, you have a little bit more technical understanding than we, I think, but it's really cool. I can't wait for the community to get their hands on it.
We tease Sebastian so much that he's working right now a little bit as the center. When testnet. Yeah, I mean, he found it funny in the end, but yeah, he explained it to me also, saying like, you can basically only look at one bug at a time. Like when I like this race car analogy, it's really good because a race car is also a piece of technology that is not stock, right? It's not ready-made. You build something that is supposed to be faster than anything else ever before, which is similar to what we are doing. So some problems, or a lot of the problems, maybe most of the problems, you can basically not anticipate. You put it together, you run the first lap, and a wheel falls off. So back to stage one, right? I mean, the screws didn't hold it because it's just too fast. You didn't anticipate that, for example. I mean, maybe it's not an ideal example. Maybe an engineer would have known that. But in cases like also with blockchain, where you really just put new algorithms, because you actually work on all levels of the implementation at the same time, right? We changed the network stack, which is now the P2P, which is a really cool thing. But even that part is still work in progress. Then you have a new consensus algorithm on top, which is something we came up with. Of course, it's built using other things. It's not completely our own invention, never anything is, but it has complete new aspects to it. So you build this as well. And then you have the whole blockchain logic, the whole protocol thing. as well. And then comes the UIs on top. It is. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's very normal that those things are. I mean, what kind of ninja coder would it need to write a blockchain like this and press run and it works? That does not exist. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But I think this is. I think we would say like this is a good update from that side. I would say let's move to the next topic. The next topic is Salamantex. Max, I think you have news.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I don't have news. Salamantex has news actually. So I think Salamantex as a payment solution provider. They're a partner of 1031. So are we, Nimiq. So we are basically we belong to the same family, and we keep a close eye on what the whole 1031 ecosystem is doing. So, usually Salamantex is flying under the radar, one could say, or at least they have been flying under the radar for now.
To inform people out there that are not very familiar with Salamantex.
Right.
Can you quickly just explain what is Salamantex and what are they?
Exactly. Sorry, that was what my plan to what I was doing right now. So they are a payment solution provider. How they started is they actually had their own payment terminals for crypto. That means, usually you go to a shop and there is this little machine, with the buttons where you can usually pay with credit card and debit card. Salamantex, I don't know if they invented it, but they were the first ones with a really proper solution to have such a terminal for crypto payments. When I met them the first time, when I joined Nimiq, we met in Munich in a hotel, and they had this machine, and I could make a mock-up payment and got my receipt on how many Bitcoin I paid through the machine, and I was completely, this is awesome. But, that brings you to the problem. If you are a payment solution provider and you have this machine, you have to get such a machine in every single shop. And that means you have to talk to the shop owners. You have to convince them not only to get the machine, but, do the whole crypto topic. And it's also costly. So Salamantex thought, okay, how cool would it be? And I'm not from Salamantex, I just, of course, as they're a partner, I read a lot of stuff and did a lot of research. And of course, we also, Team Nimiq and Team Salamantex knows each other. So this is the story, how I perceive it. So they thought, how cool would it be if we wouldn't have to get our own terminal into all these shops, but why couldn't we just use the terminals that are already in the shops? So they started talking to the companies who actually put those terminals into all the shops. And yesterday they announced they are already working together with a company that provides those terminals in Austria called A1, I think. And there is a bigger one called Concardis. This company is like a payment solution provider that offers these card terminals. And they have 111,000 clients in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So that is one of the big players, and they announced, Concardis and Salamantex announced their partnership yesterday. So that means that Concardis is including the Salamantex software into all of their terminals. So basically now when you come to a shop, they roll it out in Austria. Usually you get asked, okay, do you want to pay with credit card or with debit card? And from now on, they can have a third option, and the cashier can ask you, do you want to pay in crypto? And that is for crypto adoption in real life. That is, I think it's mind-blowing. When I read those news, I thought, wow, incredible. Imagine, right? you can, wow. It's mind-blowing. So
more than 100,000. No, that is a big number.
More than 100,000 clients. Yeah, and if I understand,
what coin are they going to support? Do you know?
For the initial set of coins, there are it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, and Stellar. Their set of coins is still pretty small. But, if I understood correctly, they are doing the same as Nimiq does. before you actually put furniture into the house, build the house first. So you know, ramping up these corporations and making sure that everything works, and they have such a big rollout. You know, you can pay nationwide in Austria, almost nationwide with crypto now, thanks to Salamantex. And of course, it's just wow. It's incredible. Like, imagine you go to a shop and to a store, and now the shop owners will have to teach the people who work there, okay, listen, like from now on, we'll be accepting cryptocurrency. Wow. It's really, really cool. And I think for crypto adoption in general, this is amazing news. And I'm really proud and happy that they did that. And of course, that they're part of the 1031 family.
The good thing is also that by using the same hardware that all the people that work at stores are familiar with, then it's just going to be easier. They're probably just going to do a regular workflow that they already know, and not even think of a blockchain or like a lot of all the tech things behind it. They just are like, okay, it's a different QR code, and I don't even know or care what happens after that. So it gives a lot of benefit, and it's not complicated for them to understand.
No, like for the people, if I understood correctly, you know, the cashier just presses another button. It's credit card, debit card, or crypto. And then the QR code shows up and you scan it, you pay, but they don't care. Like, do you know how a credit card company works or a debit card company works? No, you don't. You know, like neither the client does nor the shop and people who work in the shop do. And the same with crypto. It will be just normal. You just go somewhere and pay with cryptocurrency, and it will feel like natural. And this is what they're building and rolling out, like step by step, starting with Austria. Of course, like I think that Germany and Switzerland will also follow in the not too far future. And I don't think that they'll stop there. But of course, you know, I'm just reading the news and spreading what I read. And it's incredibly amazing what they did.
Congratulations to the guys at Salamantex. That's amazing.
Congratulations to the guys at Salamantex. Like, cheers to you if you watch our podcast video.
I think we should meet them again. They're great people. I think we have a lot to talk about. There is some opportunities around the corner, I think. But okay, cool. Really amazing. Really exciting. Shall we move on?
Yeah, well, something that I've been noticing that I wanted to just discuss here and maybe get your opinion, and people from the community, if you want to talk about it, also share your opinion. This video is going to be in YouTube, but also if you're listening to the podcast, then go to our community and talk about it. But the point is Tesla's accepting Bitcoin. And I think this is like because of being early adopters in this movement and being so progressive and kind of like setting a standard and setting where the bar is. I feel that's going to change a lot the perception of Bitcoin to a lot of manufacturers in general. Like people now talk about, okay, what Apple, for example, when are you going to start accepting crypto? Why not? Is Tesla now so far ahead of you in terms of innovation that now they accept crypto and you don't? So now you have to decide. And that's interesting. What do you guys think?
Did you get yours already? Did you order one?
My
Tesla? I don't think Costa Rican streets are meant for Tesla. Imagine that.
Can you imagine? No, it's
something funny that I'm asking myself. Like obviously Elon Musk has been driving Bitcoin price with his tweets a lot recently.
Controversial
topic. Why did it take them so long to accept Bitcoin? Like especially now when we're talking about Salamantex as a German Austrian little startup rolling out the entire like payments industry with crypto. Why did they take so long to actually accept Bitcoin? I don't know. Yeah, maybe we have to ask Elon.
Yeah. And it's also not that there was not companies before that did it, right? It was 2017, 18. I think remember the Dell used to accept Bitcoin and then they removed it again and this kind of thing. So it's like a wave of... Was it Dell, Richie? Maybe you know. there was bigger companies that did that, and then they slowly removed it again. Sometimes because there was just not much adoption, sometimes because they were not sure about the legal situation. And all the situations have changed now. Now it's much more clear how those things work. Getting paid in Bitcoin nowadays is in most countries is not a deal at all. You just write a bill, like every other bill as well. You just write on it how much, whatever you work you did, and how much dollars or euros or whatever that was, and how that equivalent would be in, for example, Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. And your tax office will accept this kind of bill. They don't really care if you received gold, Bitcoins or dollars for your work. And I think this is really just starting to slowly reach the people, right? That actually reminds me, we have this beautiful paper that you wrote some time ago in our shop for people that actually are interested in accepting crypto. You also summarized quite nicely. I think it is for Germany mostly, right? And maybe for other countries as well.
Well, not only. It's our info paper for merchants. So that basically answers the question, why is it useful and good for merchants to accept crypto? So that is like the first part of the paper. The second part is indeed focusing on the taxation situation in Germany, but only because we had to choose one country where we can actually do a deep dive into the legislation. And we were working with a very renowned company that does solves taxation issues and stuff, tax reports for crypto clients. So we had an interview with them and did like a deep dive into the situation. But as always, you know, if you should be a tax expert from anywhere in the world and you say, wow, cool, I want to get a hold of this paper and adapt this text part for my country, get in touch with us. You'll get the paper, write it down. So it's still on my list to expand this paper. Because it's very useful. As you say, you know, nobody cares if you're getting paid in Bitcoin, gold, cash, or as a colleague said, eggs, whatever. As long as the government gets their share, you know, from taxes, everything's cool. And
you as a
cryptocurrency
you might very much care about receiving crypto instead of fiat right now.
Absolutely. You know, there is nothing illegal or forbidden about crypto. It is treated just as a normal currency. And that is a misperception that so many people have, that, it's crypto and no, there is nothing bad about it. And we know that there is nothing bad, that it has lots of advantages, but there is still this like broad misconception of what cryptocurrency actually is. And that is just completely wrong.
So let's then conclude this topic by asking you guys, do you think we're going to have a major company or selling company like Amazon, Apple, or such accepting crypto this year? And maybe
Tesla is pretty major,
to
be honest.
I know. Besides Tesla, now that they are they started that race.
Good question, yeah.
I say yes.
Okay, let's go with Max first. What do you think? Yes, and which one?
I have to make a call. Which one? Okay. Oh my God, no, I can't. There are many candidates. Yeah, I think Apple could be a candidate. Amazon could also be a candidate, but they will most likely integrate a payment solution. Maybe that accepts. Hopefully, it's the e-commerce solution from Salamantex. I think Apple is quite a good call. Or maybe it will be. I think Burger King is already accepting crypto in some states in the US. So I think it will also maybe retail stores, something that will make it possible for everyday people to buy goods of everyday consumption, you know, with crypto. But I think Apple could be they could do that, I think.
I think Apple or maybe Dell also, because if you look back in Bitcoin history, they already accepted crypto or Bitcoin back in 2014, something. I remember they accepted crypto for a while and then they stopped accepting. I think it was not that popular. Probably they didn't get enough people asking for it to make a difference for them. So at the end they stop accepting. But now maybe I think they're also a candidate. And I think this is an interesting, at least niche, because we're talking crypto owners usually use a computer. And which computer are they going to buy? A nice new Dell or a nice new Mac? And the one that starts accepting crypto before probably is going to get a bunch of this audience, I guess, and it's going to become a little bit more in the crypto scene, known as, okay, like I can go and get my computer with crypto, and this is my choice now. I like you guys. You're the first ones. So I could see this as a niche, computers for crypto owners, right?
Yeah. Would also make sense if NVIDIA accepts crypto soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yep. You use NVIDIA to mine crypto, and you can use crypto to buy NVIDIA devices. Perfect. You have the first economy.
It all makes sense now.
Works.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And
moving on, I think something interesting that we could also share is what the progress of the team setup is. Like we're really talking a lot with people and service providers or agencies to expand our reach as a team. Like, for example, right now we are talking, or we actually have basically already a little bit of a deal with maybe a potential new front-end developer that will do a little bit of an internship. It's going to be really exciting. So because we have so many things on our plate that we basically need more people. We have so much work that wants to be done, and always great new ideas coming from the community and also from within the team of things we could do even more and even better. So it's always a constant, basically a race between everybody is very busy getting things done and trying to make time to also look at hiring new people. Then you always have to also get them into the role, because it's not so easy to find like front-end developers with blockchain experience. It's just a mix of skills that is not that common. So it's always quite some effort to get somebody in, but it's a very interesting process we're doing, I think. And on top of that is ambassadors, right? That's very interesting that more and more people also call or write us emails and say, hey, I would like to be an ambassador for Nimiq. I have this skill set, or I know those contacts. What could we do? Those are always very interesting discussions, and I think this will be really beneficial for us.
Yeah. So if somebody out there knows or is somebody like that, then send us a message. Send us a mail to info@nimiq.com, and we can start talking about it. There's some people that actually we've met through the community that are potential ambassadors, and that's always a very, very, very nice. Like people from the community approach us and saying, hey, I know this guy from this other place, and he might actually know some other crypto people, and for you to connect or to network with different projects, that's super valuable. And so let us know.
It's also our favorite route, because I mean, having somebody from the community that's in the community for a year or two already, first of all, we know that they know what they're talking about because they have been around. And I mean, we can be sure that they are passionate about the project because they stayed around so long, right? And even also one more aspect is that, of course, for community is often shouting like marketing. And yeah, we know, right? We're working a lot. And just for those kind of guys in our community, we're really right now making a lot of effort talking with marketing agencies and marketing experts. Like it's almost like 1 or 2 calls a week with agencies checking out what they offer, what's the price range, what they can actually do, and trying to test them, because it's actually not trivial. Because there's, of course, tons of marketing agencies out there, but crypto is such a different place. Like it's a lot with YouTube influencers. It's happening a lot on Twitter. It's not happening much through Facebook ads, for example. So classical marketing and crypto marketing are quite worlds apart. And so it's challenging, but we're really looking in many different directions to increase our reach with new agencies. I think this is going to help us a lot, because I mean, the Oasis launch is around the corner, right? Nimiq 2.0 is already at the horizon. But so we're trying to really level up our abilities or our potential of doing great marketing when those products are really ready. think that's quite exciting.
So let's maybe go a little bit into detail. What does a marketing agency do? At least in this case for Nimiq. And I think something interesting of what we've been discussing is that especially for a small team like ours, having somebody that is able to that is already in touch with crypto influencers is very, very useful. We've already got in touch with different influencers in the past, but it takes a lot of effort because you're going like the hard route. Basically, you're trying to contact them from within the crowd and reaching out to them, and they are apparently also it's difficult for them to manage communications, like so many people sending them emails, asking them like videos and to have reviews about their projects. So what they end up doing is also working with marketing agencies that are the ones that maybe queue and organize the work for them, and then tell them, okay, here are all the projects that we've discussed, and we filter the ones that are maybe not good for you to talk about because they seem some like maybe not in the good direction or something is not aligned, right? But these are the ones that we already negotiated for you. Just go ahead and do it, and the YouTuber does their thing. They just go and do the video. So we've learned that maybe that is an easier route for us also to go to get the help from somebody that is already working with YouTube influencers that we've already worked with in the past and proven to have also good work, because of course we always like the ones that are more educational and talking about the content behind the project, and we've want to continue in that route as well, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix, I guess, right? Like the community also has loved a lot Big Boy, and he has also done a little bit educational content, but he's more on the excitement part, which is fine. I think we're gonna mix it a bit because our community is very diverse, and we totally want to respect that, and don't be too teacher-like and only do educational, boring stuff. So I think we're gonna mix it up a bit, and those agencies help a lot. I think it's great to see those kind of. It's almost like an ecosystem growing up now, right? You have the YouTubers on one side and you have the crypto projects. And the crypto projects are very busy making code and create blockchains, and the YouTubers are busy making videos. And for them to communicate sometimes can be tricky, like you were describing. And I think from what they have told us so far, they're doing really a valuable service in the middle by basically saying, okay, we have the contacts to the YouTubers. We already negotiated good prices. We get better prices because we have this kind of reach to multiple YouTubers. We can basically, again, trade them against each other, make good prices, and we take a cut of that and offer you basically as a crypto project the video for the same price that you would pay to the YouTuber directly. But as we get a better price and we make all this management, we take that cut and put it in our own pocket, and everybody's happy in the end, right? We reduce our communication overhead. The YouTuber doesn't have to deal with so many weird incoming requests that some of them might not well formulated or complicated to understand. The agency already knows how to communicate. And so this circle kind of closes. And I think this is really beneficial. We're going to make use of that. Because after all, time is money, right? If we invest a lot of time, it's also in the end, it's not worth it, maybe.
So yeah, for the community, this is a little bit of the conclusions we've gotten after researching on marketing agencies and talking a lot with them. Makes sense when you're willing to do heavy marketing, and if you want to be more efficient, then it can be really useful. So we're still the update from us is we are actually still talking with different marketing agencies, and let's see. We hope to at some point maybe contribute with one, and that in that way increase our marketing power for the coming months and for the products to be released. So that's going to be very, very nice.
Yeah, we basically test them, right? We're going that far to say, okay, can we make a test run and show us what you got, flex your muscles, and we'll see if we're going to get the results that we need for them and that it's worth the money. So, but once we have this test setup done and we have really one, or it could be also a few, or like a very few, but it's going to be interesting to have those kind of extra power-ups when we need them. It's cool. Shall we move on to the last topic of today's session?
I think so.
And there will be I have something prepared on my list here. Yeah, the new website or the website update that we're working on, and especially I would also A big shout out to the community on this forum post that they shared. It's called how's it called? Homepage revamp. And I was really happy and excited to read this. It's a long thread with very thoughtful comments. Some are very critical, right? But that's fair. You know, we are critical ourselves. We want to really improve. We want to get this thing out there as good as possible. And we just, was it 1 or 2 days ago, right? We had a long call with the whole communications team, including the designer, and we went through every post in this thread, step by step, each aspect, and talked it over. It's like, okay, what is in here? Could we do this? What's the technical effort? Do we have something like that already on our list? Because we also made quite some ideas and updates. For me, this was really amazing to see this post and how engaged people are sharing what they would improve and what they see. I think this is extremely valuable. We love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And it's great to have that feedback now that we're working on that. So as Sven said,
that was really cool.
We took the time of going through each of a single comment and taking them into account and discussing them to produce a new website update.
Mm-hmm. I think we can even drop the link in the description, and if other people have more ideas, then they can go ahead and post it. For example, one I'm looking at it right now on parallel was the one from Ralph, who has this cool idea to say, like, let's take the map that we had, and which people really love because it's pleasing to the eye. It also gives you an idea of distributed. What does that mean? That there's actually right now you're a node in the network by just opening Nimiq.com, right? I mean, that is something to really think about. That is actually really interesting technology because it just happened like this. You didn't even notice. It's so simple. And suddenly you're connected to a peer in Japan and one in the US, one in Europe, and you have all this. This is beautiful, I think. And he wants to combine it with the Albatross demo, where you see those blocks running through with transactions, and maybe visualize, if possible, where the transactions are coming from. So this is going to be, I think it's going to be fun to talk with the front-end team to say, guys, is that possible, or is that just asked too much? So this is going to be exciting. But something like this, I mean, I love to see this kind of animations, and you see the blockchain coming to life. It becomes much more visible, much more real, you know, when you see this thing actually really happening. Cool.
I think that is also very important when you reach out to people who are new to blockchain. You know, talking about blockchain, it's this concept, this idea, something that they've read about. But really seeing it, even if it's just a visualization of how it works, I think that facilitates making your first steps into the space a lot, where you can actually see, okay, someone is sending from this country a transaction, it's recorded in the blockchain and moving on. And yeah, it's awesome. And I'm also really happy that the community took the time and collected all this valuable feedback. And of course, you know, we know, and we are in the middle of a website revamp to include all our recent developments, Albatross, Oasis, and really give them prominent coverage, because there's been so much going on that is not yet prominently visible on the website, but we're changing that.
Yeah. It's an overall part of a process that started already, and it's just the perfect timing, because also internally we're discussing wording. Like one classical thing that was criticized was the whole slogan of open money, and that is already, which is kind of cool, because we were ourselves also thinking of changing that into something else, into something more provocative. And this is still work in progress, and this input is like just a goldmine for us to also work on it. And I think we will see some more news maybe in a few weeks to come, when this all has been consolidated and we got all the feedback in. Because there's no rush, we want to get this done properly.
I was looking for the animation to show it around, but well, we'll find it and share it in the video when we edit it. The animation that Ralph shared, that's very nice.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut it in.
I always remember how Max explains it, like when you see that, you actually understand, like it's like it's not childish, but in a toy-like nature, very like not like it's not real, but more like it's it's nice to easy to understand, and then you're like, okay, this is how a blockchain works. This is it. The drill down, nice colors, but this is it. This browser is sending transactions in this blockchain or this chain of blocks that everybody is connected to in the world. And you can see here the world, the map. It's just genius.
I think one amazing thing that people might not realize, maybe we have to make this very clear, that this is not a demo. This is not a video. This is the real blockchain. I mean, when you see this, the map, right? Those are real nodes around the world. And by their IP address, we can guess where they are located. Of course, we don't know their location because it's anonymous, right? I mean, that's how blockchain should be. But from the IP address, we can guess pretty much which country it is. That's just a normal thing to do. And then showing the blockchain, how the blocks run by and where the transactions were in. That's also real data coming from the blockchain. So this is right. This is the real deal. You're seeing actually the real blockchain in action. I think this could be really exciting. And
that reminds me of a funny thing.
You have the blockchain in the browser, right?
Didn't we like the Albatross demo? You know, that's also like, of course, a previous version, but that is the real Albatross like code running where you can send a demo transaction. And didn't we even have to introduce some form of block delay? Because when we first implemented that and pressed play, the thing was so freaking fast that you couldn't actually see what's happening.
Yeah, you just see a blur rushing by.
It was just... It was extremely fast, and then we sat down. Okay, we have to do something. Like I think, is it a block delay to actually make it visible for people what is happening, because it was so freaking fast. That was really fun.
But it was the alpha setup where basically everything was running on one machine, so it was incredible fast. In reality, we're looking at 1 second block time, but I mean, seeing one of those blocks running by every second, that is still very fast.
It's still very fast, and it will be the real thing. And yeah, that's going to be really cool when you can see, okay, wow, you want to see the Nimiq blockchain? Here it is. I imagine us, being at conferences and, with our booth, and we have like a computer, and you see the Nimiq blockchain behind you, like live, and you see, okay, let's send a transaction, and here comes the button. That I think that will be an awesome experience. That will be really real and cool for people to see that this is actually, it's a real blockchain, and it's awesome.
I like it. Yeah, makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, we're going to continue updating people with the website because it's work in progress. But for now, yeah, we've discussed all this input from the community. Thanks a lot. And we're taking that into consideration for the next version of the website. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we take those things very serious. We're really happy to get that feedback.
And an extra topic before we end. I was looking into our Reddit the other day, actually not the other day, just today before the call. I was looking into stuff, and I found this project that somebody shared. It's a new project called Nimiq.link. So a shout out to the developer, and maybe we can show it around a little bit. Nimiq.link is actually a URL shortener. We had you can try it out. Nimiq.link.
Nice domain.
Nice domain. I was going to say the same. Nice domain.
Snatch this one away. No, it's cool. It's cool. Nice that they got that there.
Yeah, and it's like Chartim requested people to mine with their browsers to get the URL redirection, but this one, Nimiq.link, requires the users to see a fact of Nimiq for like 5 seconds or something, and then you have to learn something about Nimiq each time that you use Nimiq.link.
Huh.
And it's also a beautiful URL shortener. You get Nimiq.link/ and the short form. I'm always, I'm posting, I don't know, bit.ly links and how those other URL shorteners are called. And I'm always looking for a nice Nimiq version of that. And that is like ideal.
There you go.
Yeah. So shout out. Thank you very much for developing this. This is a really cool effort.
Yeah. Shared a couple of days ago. So very cool.
Cool. Simple things you can build, right? Uh-huh.
Yeah. If also people in the community go to Reddit and maybe thank the guy. It's like great effort. And I think with this is all that we have planned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my drink's empty, so we have to stop now.
Yeah, my coffee is also down at the last centimeter.
Like
so
another,
just in time, gentlemen.
The other side note that I was looking into before we go, just to finish with a joke, I guess, is did you see that talking about Tesla and Elon Musk, that because he was tweeting so many info, and it could seem like, and Tesla also bought some Bitcoin, it could seem like he's manipulating somehow the market. So SEC got into him like, okay, you cannot do this at the same time that you are also the CEO of this company while manipulating. So this is not possible. So he, witty as he is, he was like, okay, so the problem is that I'm the CEO of Tesla. Then I'm going to change my title. And now I'm no longer CEO. Now I'm Techno King. So now he changed his title and he's the Techno King of Tesla. And the CFO, the previous CFO, also changed his title and now is Master of Coin.
But at least they take it serious, you know. Like this is
not serious. They take it funny. Yeah.
This is
If you want me to choose, they hire some new CEO. Here you go, and I'm going to be Techno King, and he's going to be Master of Coin. Let's go and do some madness.
It's really clever, you know.
Well played, well played.
Wow.
Now he has this way of thinking, right? To say, okay, so what the problem is here that I'm the CEO, which is of course not what they meant, but you know, you just twist it around and you get what you want. Nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Okay, and let's end with that one. Thanks everybody for joining. Leave your comments below. Also remember to go to Telegram. This Telegram at Nimiq. That's the group where you can go and comment with everybody, and also share ideas for the next video. We want to do this regularly, and if you want us to discuss about something, go in deep, like more discussions about what's happening with Nimiq, and let us know. And suggestions, ideas, feedback. That's the idea here, for us to comment a little bit more about what we're doing, for you to get more insight, and then give us your thoughts. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye-bye. Talk soon. And we're out.